Hi everyone, Jeremy here from Flatware Creations. Today I'm going to be making 52 of these. I needed to make 53, but I made this one to show you guys. So we're going to take our knives here, and I don't know if you can hear it, but one of them pings. That's how you tell normally if they're hollow, and then if you can hear it, the thud, there's no ting really to it, more of just a thud. Sometimes they are filled or they are hollow, but they will not unsolder for some reason. I have no idea. So for those I have to cut around here. I do that with my bandsaw. You can do it with a hacksaw. Just be careful not to go all the way through straight. You're gonna have to rotate it because inside here is a steel bar, a stainless steel bar, and it will dull everything. So if you cut through and you see that you haven't quite got past the solder line, cut a little bit farther back. Normally it's right about here. Is normally a really safe spot, so still leaving you quite a bit of the handle. The solid ones you can cut apart along the edges. You can turn these into bracelets, rings. I mostly make earrings out of the halves. But let's get this show started. I'm gonna get everything ready and let's roll the intro. Welcome back. If you haven't yet, please subscribe. There it is. I make all kinds of things. We normally will change it up sometimes. A lot of the lives have been Bud Vases because I've been making a ton of Bud Vases. I do have a couple projects coming up where I'll be making elephants, cats, dogs, rings, and I also have to make some pendant sets. So earrings, pendant, and probably bracelets too. So those are coming up soon. But today I'm going to show you how to make these. And I think I already sent the chat. Let's see. Okay, yep, I sent the chat. All right, so let's see what we can do here. I have the camera right in front of everything. So we're going to, I don't like that one. After you heat and you take out the blades, you're gonna be left with a piece of the handle. I take and sand this off on my belt sander and kind of round it off a little bit so it's cleaner. This will go through the tumbler. This kind of tarnish might come off, but I would take and put this to the buffer real quick just to take off the heavy tarnish and then toss it in the tumbler. Then they'll come out like this, nice and shiny. Sometimes after a couple of tumbles, I tumble with Dawn dish soap. That's pretty much all I use. And it breaks up the grease and the oils and all the stuff, all the nastiness in here. But they'll come out like this. We're gonna take our spoon. We're gonna make them look like this. And then we'll put one together and we'll only have 51 left to do. So I'm gonna put this one off to the side, actually right in my tumbler. This is my tumbler. It's a Frankfurt Arsenal tumbler. I just took out of it this morning 100 complete spoons, all different sizes. I have some tablespoon sizes in here. 100. That's probably how many Bud Vases I need to make in the next couple of days. But today we're gonna do 52 now. So I'm gonna take you over to here and we're gonna get our spoon bent first because I already have the knife handles ready. see. All right, so this is the Flatwareable press system. This is the 3D version. It has the plate on the bottom. We're going to be using that. You don't have to have this block. This block comes with the kit. I wanted a little bit more space, so I got this block from a local machinery shop as scrap. Put my spoon on there. I'm going to make a dimple. After I make that dimple, I'm going to go halfway through the spoon. It's going to make a little bumpy bump there. Then I'm going to come to the round part of the spoon in the back, push down my handle, and then flatten out the tip. That leaves me with a little tiny hump in there, but that can be fixed. Let's see if I can bring this one over here. Nope, that one there did not want to go where I wanted it to go. All right, so we're going to use this guy. Bring it right down there. Okay, so I have my fire brick that I cut in half so it would fit on my piece there. Oh, can't do this yet. You have to bend it, Jeremy. We didn't bend it. So I used the small side of the block here, and I'm going to use the second biggest pin. Start with the pattern side down. And you don't have to use your fingers to push it up. Sometimes you'll see me later on, I'll get tired and start whamming on it. Then I put it through there, bend this up. This is going to be our handle part. And then this goes right at the throat of the spoon. Just lift it up. And then I'm imagining a straight line down. So now we have our shape. We're going to switch to this guy. Let's see. Any comments? Nope. Okay. So what I do now is I always test. I want it to do that. I just want I want it to flop and then go nice and flat. If you need to, we can take, there it is, a little plastic and brass hammer. Normally I'll use the rubber end, kind of tap it. There we go. Nice and done. Put this up here. This is a third hand. It comes with a base. I don't know where that is anymore, but I just clamp it in my vise. Then I just had everything. I put everything away. So I use a pair of tweezers. These, as you push them, they open up. I'm using electrical rosin core solder. We'll bring some of that out. So here's what I do with the handles. I take and I slide one side in so it's held. I put the back side away from me and I clip this right in there. So I'm clipping the clip through the top of here, or the bottom of here. Bring it down below your fire brick, gently raise it up and slide it to the middle-ish, wherever middle is for you. Oh, I missed a step. Once you get it flat, I take and cup it in here, and then I bend it over till it kind of squishes my finger a little bit. That ends up bringing this elbow here down further towards the middle. So whenever we go to put this in here, it hits it a lot nicer. So what I'm looking for is I want this straight, and then the side, I want it to be straight this way also. So I'm looking down it, I got that straight, vertical, that's straight. So next, grab my torch. You can also use a smaller torch. I use this just because it's a lot faster. I want just a little push. I don't think you can see them. Yeah, the blue part, I call those teeth, and I want to hear just a little bit of the gas pushing. Put some solder in there. And you see the smoke clearing. I have a fan going in the background. And later on, whenever I'm soldering a bunch of these, I'll turn on my exhaust system. So I'm trying to get mostly just the base of this, where they meet. I'm not trying to heat the whole thing up. I'm almost out of fuel. Technical difficulties. So I'm just going to keep feeding this in. Okay. Yeah, can all go back. So I have found that I've gotten better results from letting it cool on its own. You can take your spray bottle and start spraying it from the top. But we basically just need for the solder to set. So if you tilt this back and forth, if you can see the solder move, don't pull it out yet. Dump it in some water. You can test the solder. So there we go. 51 left to make. Toss that in the tumbler. I'm gonna get all of this put away because now it's time to go to work. Yes. So I'm gonna do the spoons first. I counted how many. It looks like your shop is set up in a camper. Is that correct? Yes. Yep. It is a 28-foot. Oh. It's a 28-foot camper that we gutted completely, and then I did all the walls with paneling, put in the floor, and set up all my stations, my benches, and everything. I did the green because I was doing green screen. I was doing a lot of green screen, and now it's just kind of a pain with so many cameras. Every once in a while, whenever I get a video edited, I can go through and just toss on the green screen. The only thing I don't like about the green walls is everything reflects some sort of green. So I think I'm gonna go to probably not necessarily a white, but I want to go to something that's an off color. So I might do like a blue, like a really light blue that I can still contrast, but it's not green. So that might happen this winter. It might not, depending on how busy I get. But yes, you are correct. It is an old camper. Put that there, that goes there. We'll put these guys away. This guy over there with the ugly ones. So I already have a couple of spoons made up, but I'm going to count and do them until we get to 51, and then I'll start putting them all together. I have to get this order done today, and I should have had it done yesterday or the day before, but life happens. I'll get you guys there, and I'm going to bring you guys over here in just a second. All right, so we have 5, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51. I now have a whole lot left over and prepped. I'll get those all flattened before I start making my other order, but this is going to tap out the last of my prepped knives, so that's why I'm doing 51. All right, I'm gonna bump you guys over to here. Let me not make you guys sick and do this. I think this is the spot. There we go. Okay, I'm gonna keep, for some reason my chat up there is not working. Okay. Okay, so I will be able to see the chat. And now I can go crazy. All right. Just make sure you guys can see everything okay. So always check the front of your bolts here, just to make sure everything's nice and snug. Making the dimple, doing the front, doing the back part, and then we're done. So that moves over to there. Now, this is a larger spoon. What is going on? Okay. It's got more of an oval shape to it. So the dip is really down. I wasn't sure if these were gonna work. Okay. Gonna have to do this one in sections. So not too bad. You can also use a hammer that I don't have in here. That's weird. Use a dead blow hammer. Those work great. Saved a ton of time from just hitting it with the mallet. There we go. Flat. So how's everybody's day going? Another thing I do is the handle here. I've built up the end. Couldn't be better. Nice. I made it big enough so my fingers can't quite touch my palm. And where I have it set is where my shoulder is even with the bar, and my full strength is right here, and I can put some weight on it. So I'm not like gripping too hard, I'm not hurting my shoulder, and I'm trying to keep everything close, and I get lots of leverage from where it's at. Now we just go to work. The teaspoons are so much faster and easier. Sometimes you'll get the ends that are curved up, so I just bump those down real quick. I didn't think I had this many big ones in there. Nice, that one came out really nice. I've got just about all of my orders caught up. Once I do this, I have 5 cats, 5 elephants, 5 dogs, and I have another person who wants a few sets. So I'm going to try and see what I have for sterling that I can put together into sets for her. And I have a huge box of rings to make. Some really nice, old, beautiful patterns. I do have some time lapse videos, Jimmy, on my process of making the shop. I'm not sure where they're at on the channel, but generally you'll see the green, or I know I have a bunch of shorts that I did. It was a lot of work. I'm glad I don't have to do the whole box. I have done that before, but I generally take a break. Give my arm a chance to rest, and then I'll put some of these together. Start doing the easier bends. I was thinking of getting that putty that you just build up around whatever it is you're grabbing. And whenever you grab it, it basically molds to your hand so you don't get a lot of hot spots. So I know hammering it out with the dead blow hammer is a lot easier than using a mallet. But for me, I find I can do this a lot more and I'm not making a ton of noise. But now that I'm out of the house, it doesn't really matter. But now it's just habit. And a lot less effort for me. All right, 2 more. Another thing I did, so the new blocks come with magnets in them, so they sit nice and don't come off very easy. But I'm still using my old one. This is actually my original. I think it's 5 years old. The narrow side has got a ton of stuff on it, and this one is new enough. I still haven't destroyed it. And I feel bad using it. I'll use it one day. But for now, what I did was I took an old spoon and I bent it so that this will push against it. So as I'm pushing down, I don't have to keep track of it so much. It's not sliding back on me. It'll slide side to side a little bit, but it's not sliding back, which is what I needed. Okay. So now we're going to start bending. We'll bring all of these back over here. If I'm doing a lot, I'll have trays set up for these guys so I could just keep going tray to tray for each step. These are kind of thick. Yep, too thick to bend like that. You can bend up a little farther and then go back and finish that bend, which isn't too bad. So at this spot here, you can also bend the tip down a little bit more if you need to. And then this is what I'm calling the throat, where the spoon bowl meets the handle. I'm just going to put that right there. Slow bend on that spot. It's a lot thicker, so definitely a lot harder to move. But we'll put this over here. And it's ready for the last step. All right, pattern down. And you'll see me switch over to my left hand a lot to hold the piece because I work better right-handed. and I'm just switching back and forth. Like I'm keeping pressure on my left hand. Looks pretty straight. Next. And now we're just in OCD cruise mode. That one was pretty stiff too. But you can see how I can bend it. Okay. Just check to see if it's pretty straight. Next. I should have picked easier ones. But they're all gonna get made anyways, right? At one point, a long time ago, I had a cutting board, and I took and I cut out, or I put it in here, screwed it down, and then I traced out the blocks. And then I cut out the block shape so it would sit down in the plastic. Whoa! And that helped it stay in place for quite a while. It ended up breaking after a while, and I just never ended up putting it back together. Some of these handles are thick. This one's got a really pretty handle. I've been turning a whole lot of these into rings. Has the little roses on them. So this one is a little bit longer. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a little bend here to try and get that part up. So I got my bend. Now I'm going to flip it back over because now it will fit in this gap. Now I can finish with my piece. And it's straight. That way we get that bend to come all the way back towards the center. And once we do the last bend on it, it should be right over the middle. So we just keep going. Sometimes if I get really tired after doing this for a while, I'll take, and as I do each one, I'll go and do the next step. Kind of gives my arm a little bit of a break. And if you can't quite get it with the nylon, flip it over and you get the rubber. That'll help you grip it and pull it down with your hammer stroke. Yeah, I'm not moving that with my fingers. I'm trying to grab that little piece. And the idea whenever I'm hammering down, I'm imagining a straight line going through right to where I want to push this. And I'll do this one. This is the one that we bent earlier. Same pattern. So without cutting that, without changing that middle spot, show you what this looks like. So you can kind of see how far back. See if I can get you. This is pretty far back from the middle. So something like this, I'd use a flat knife handle to sit here so it can be standalone. We'll get into all that later on whenever we're putting them together. So I used to time how long everything takes. I do each one 5 times and then average it out. Oh, let me do that. But I haven't timed it in a long time, and I know I've definitely gotten faster since then. So this one right here, from my angle, is twisted this way. I just grab my pliers, just send those right around. There we go, and that'll be a little bit closer to the middle. Hi Lou. Hi Jeremy, how are you? It's been a while. Yeah, it's been a crazy little while. I'm doing good. Getting back into some routines. And getting ready for show season. I don't do shows anymore, but a lot of people I know do. And I wholesale quite a bit to them because sometimes it's just you don't have time to finish something or to get enough stuff made before the next show. When I was doing shows, I was always tapped out between shows. Sometimes the show would be great and I didn't have to make a whole lot of new stuff to replace the old stuff, plus continue making new stuff. So I definitely understand having a time frame and not being able to get everything done. So I try and have lots of rings on hand, but my rings have evaporated. So I have a full medium flat rate box full of spoons and forks to turn into spoon rings. Hopefully that live will be coming up soon. And remember, every one of these is different. It took quite a while for me to get my OCD to accept that. But sounds like you're gonna be busy making rings. Yes, I have hundreds of spoons to turn into rings. Come on. At least pretend like you're going to go straight. It's so much easier to do everything in batches. I know that on average it takes me less than 2 minutes to make a ring. So I definitely have a few days worth of bending. When you're bending these, you want to try and keep from making not hard bends, but off bends, because it will make things harder on yourself. Straight enough. And there's lots of other ways to make these Bud Vases. This is just the way this customer likes them. I just backed up the live feed and noticed your beard. It looks great. Thank you. I got to trim it up a little bit, but it's definitely, I'm definitely enjoying it. I've started playing with my mustache because it's long enough to start curling up a little bit. I've been playing with that more than usual. It's long enough that I keep chewing on it when I'm eating. So I have to figure out a way to get it to where it doesn't do that. But I got some stuff the other day. I just have to not be lazy. It'll keep up my my mustache. Oh, that would be distinguished if you wax it up. Oh, yeah. It's gonna take me a little bit to get used to, but I'm definitely getting a lot of looks whenever I have it up. All right, the pile is dwindling down. Maybe I can have all this done before my back starts to go today. That'd be nice. So we have one more step. Well, we have two more steps for the spoons. And then we can start soldering. We'll see how many I can fit in my tumbler. So I just pulled out this morning 100 of the teaspoons and tablespoons out of the tumbler this morning. Let's see. I know it's on my phone. I took some pictures I was going to post today, but then I got excited about the live. So that's the tumbler full. And the bucket. So much glare in here. And then they filled up that whole green tray. So I counted it last night. I always try and push my equipment a little bit. Okay, using flux now. Not for these. I will be using some rosin core solder, lead free. It's just electrical stuff from Harris. I have used the acid core, and I've used regular lead-free solder that you need to use the flux for. But for these, normally I can get away with just using the rosin core, and it holds really well. So that one I wanted to bend around a lot more. Almost there. 3, 6, 9, 10, 11, I think. 11-ish. On some of these spoons, if you notice it bending real fast, whenever you make this bend here, you want to go a little bit slower. Like sometimes this kind of style will want to crack because it's more of a cast. So you just got to slow down. I'm just twisting these around. There you go, that's straight. This one got twisted up. That's what makes them unique, right? My arms and hands are definitely getting tired. It's always nice when you can see the table underneath all the silverware. Oh, speaking of silverware, I have a little over 100 pounds of silverware that I picked up the other day that I've been absolutely dying to get into. But I know everyone would get mad at me if I did an unbagging and didn't put it on YouTube. So I've been waiting and waiting. After this order, oh, finished bending the spoon, Jeremy. After this order, I have enough time to be able to do that. That would be fun for later today, because we're gonna get through these pretty quick. All right, 2, 4, 6 left, and then we're on to the next step. If you're just tuning in, I made one right at the beginning of this live stream. I try and always do that because I know everybody doesn't have a lot of time. So I always try to make at least one real early. And I believe I may have gotten a bag with sterling silver handles on the knives. I'm not 100% sure yet, but I was reading the bag as gas, which was weird. And I didn't really notice it. I went through the 2 bags of knives. Finish the bend, Jeremy. It's either talk and mess something up, or don't talk and be boring. Oh, I'm gonna switch over to this other camera. Something that you want to watch out for. So on this spoon, it's clean on one side, but the back side is the side we're using, and this is all plate damage. So that's why you always make extra. So this can become a ring. See, I have this one set for it. So what I'll do with this, because the spoon bowl's not great, is I'm just gonna mark it real quick into a ring. And I was trying to just cut them before I forget. Pop the head off of there. This will go in my ring pile, and we'll switch back over to this camera. There we go. Hi, Backyard Creations. Yeah, it's just 50, but I went a couple of extra days behind schedule, and I didn't have any leftover extra from last time. That's why we're doing all 50 today. I did have the handles prepped and the spoons came out of the tumbler nice and clean this morning. All right, last one, and then we can move on to the next step. Thought I saw another comment, but I'm gonna finish this real quick. We can be done bending. Another thing that I did that I haven't shown in a long time is, let's see, can I move that? On the back, right here, this is an eye bolt that goes all the way through. Whenever I put my handle back, it stops on that, so I don't have to worry about reaching all the way behind it to bring it all the way forward again. I can just throw it back and bring it forward, which helps a lot. So, oh, my mouse moved. Sorry, I'm trying not to get you guys all sick. Okay. Let's see if I can get this going here without pressing a ton of buttons. All right, there we go. And the chat. So Lou said, just went to watch the beginning where you explain about where to cut the knife handle, and that's a great tip. Yeah, I had so many of them. They sounded hollow, but I could not unsolder them for anything. They just wouldn't come undone. And I started cutting them and they came out great. They're beautiful patterns. They just won't unsolder at all. Okay. Next step. So I know that this part of my vise is flat, but it gives me a lot better sound. I don't know if you guys can hear that because of the noise canceling, but I'm looking for this to be flat right in here, and I want this to set up. So right now everything is back and top heavy, so sometimes they'll roll backwards. I'm just looking for that sound on the front. So this one is not where I want it. There we go. This is a piece of paneling, this brown board. I'm gonna flip this upside down, and I'm gonna start by hitting the center. Let's see, I think I can get this guy down there. Yeah, that'll work. So this is upside down. I'm gonna tap this middle part. And I get a nice flip. It just comes down. Boom. Next, we're gonna take, and I put my finger in here. I put the handle in the palm of my hand, and I take the palm of my other hand, and I just squish this down. That one was really hard, until it starts to pinch my finger. You can also do this with a pair of round nose pliers or the round graduator pliers like this, and you can hit it with your hammer and get it to go down that way. It's just a lot easier for me to go the other way. Just gonna check it again for straight. I want straight this way and straight this way. So this one's good. We're gonna bump that over there. This one's really bowed out front. So again, I always start with the middle. There we go. After you bend it, I always double check it just to make sure that it didn't get tweaked in the process. Now it's got a little bit of a roll. There we go. It's done. And be careful how fast you bend this also, because it can go really quick. And these are all silver plated. It would be about the same process. Or, I wish I could do, I used to do screen in screen. I'll have to see if I can figure that out again. All right, so this one goes down nice and easy already. There we go. So this order loo, it's funny, sometimes I can feel it coming. Like I'm like, I better be making some more Bud Vases because I feel the order coming on. And normally within 2 or 3 days, I get an email or a message. And right now she is down to like 3 or 4. And I sent her 30 last time. So this one's twisted this way. So what I'm doing now is I'm tweaking the spoon bowl to get this straighter. You can also hold it down with your round pliers again. You can just bend it over sometimes. Make sure it's bent down, still fits flat, straight, and we move on. Yeah, it wants to tip back a lot. So straight. Boom, boom. See how this one doesn't quite reach all the way to the middle? So we'll use a flatter. I'm gonna put that one up here. We'll use a flatter knife handle for that. Sounds good. Always great to have stock on hand. Yes, it is. I went to a customer's in Milton, Vermont. She has a little shop, and I didn't have time to make a ton of rings, but I found 2 bags of rings. Before I forget, what I'm doing here is this end didn't get tapped back far enough to leave this. So right now, everything is going to touch. So what I'm doing now is I'm going to bend this section further backwards. And you can just put that in your vise or hold it on the table. Of course, it's a hard one. So I'm putting my leather in there. Double check what I was actually doing. It's the little things. But I found a couple of bags that had like 10 or 15 rings that I made before. So that saved me a little bit. So now I have a nice big tray of sterling with a bunch more sterling rings to make. Always check what end you're using. that. Really bad. By doing this, it saves you quite a bit of time doing it like this, just doing one step at a time. It's monotonous, but you're going to end up doing it anyways. So at least now I don't have to worry about losing my hammer or using the flat. Nope. Still. And here, whenever I hit the top side, I'm hitting mostly the edges, especially these back edges here. They will pop the tip up a little bit. So you just hit it in the middle and it will come back down. That's also why we don't push these down real hard. Still got a bend right there. Yep. So that's not getting it. So I'm going to flip it over to the brass. It's nice light hits. There we go. Nice straight. Done. Another problem spot is this right back here. There's kind of a little raised edge that goes around. So we have our dip, and then we have this raised edge. Sometimes this back here is the problem. So you're gonna wanna hit those down if it's sitting up too much. But normally, just right here in the middle, if you kind of flatten that out a little bit. So I'm just working that center line. There we go. The hard part about sterling rings is sterling is at $30 an ounce. I think yesterday it was $30.60. A couple months ago it was $35 an ounce. That makes every single spoon a lot more expensive. Go. I'm so excited to go through those bags of silverware. It has been almost torture not getting into those bags. Especially that one with the knife handle. So this one is a little bit thicker. I'm gonna use my brass end on this to try and clean it up a little bit. So light taps. Ouch! That was my finger. I'm just hitting the edges. There we go. Nice and flat. Try and keep all the bigger ones, like the tablespoons and things, up closer to me. because I always forget whenever I grab one of those flat handles. I try and use them on them. Come on. Sometime you gotta fight with them. So it's hitting on that edge, which means I need to bring this backside here down. Oh. I grabbed the camera cable. There we go. All right. That one finally hit flat. Excuse me. So close. There we go. One whack. I'm just gonna start with this one by tapping out that middle. Go. That one's definitely harder to bend. And that's another big one. Sometimes it's tedious, but I'd rather go through some tediousness and have a better product than try and cut corners. Ta-da! Woohoo! I'll take that. I think I already did that one. Almost there. A lot of this is mostly just going through the same motions over and over again. I'll take that. So I figured I'm making these, I may as well hop on, chat with anybody who hops on. Try not to get too squirreled away with the questions and start making something else. Nice. I think we're in single digits. 2, 4, 6, 7, 8. All right. So this one I'm just going to take the hammer to. It's got quite a bit of, or the brass. I'm just lightly tapping those out. Oh wow. Sweet. And straight. Another big one. Little bump on that one. There it is. Let's see. 4 left. There it went. That was a hard one. Go. Straight. Last one. There we go. Sweet. End on an easy one. Did I throw away a spoon? Yes, I did. I'm just gonna bend this one real quick. So how long does it take to make one from spoon to bent? It goes pretty quickly. It's just whenever you're doing 50 or 100 at a time, it gets a little, it feels like so much longer. But it's just because you're doing a million of them. Nobody gets lost on this ship. All right, no falling on the floor. Oops. Okay. Now we have a whole bunch of spoons ready to go. Let me see if I can bring this back up here, and we'll do this one. Spoons are done. I've got my tank. I've got another tank just in case I need it. Let's get all of this set up for Yeah, you can see that. So we'll get this out of there, put this guy away. This is pretty much the things we need right here. We need something to solder on, our tweezers, solder, and a third hand of some sort. So I put this in there enough where the side, the handle is pointed sideways so I can spin this way around so I can see my angles from all directions, and I can adjust these as I go along. Get some stuff out of the way here. Get this turned around. This one has a little better color. Okay. So now we need some knives. Whoa. No falling over. I didn't have a place to put them. Put them in an old box. So I've got a bucket of water here. Just gonna grab these guys. And the way I set these up, I have no room for my mouse. Well, you can't see it there either. I set them with the open end facing me. That helps me just quickly move on to the next one. I don't have to worry about rotating any or all of them going all over the place. So there is 20? Possibly. 5, 10, 15. Oh, and that's the 3. So 18 for this first round. All right. Let's do this. Okay, you guys are good there. So I'm just gonna run this in here. Clip it in place because this is new. I'm gonna adjust it to where I want it. You want it below the block because you're gonna use this as downward force. So it's gonna push down the whole time. And I'm just lifting it enough to slide the spoon under. So this whole system here is pushing down. I'm gonna check my straight this way. And most of what I'm looking for here is that my top looks like it should be really pointed towards the top. So this is pretty far off in the vertical or side to side, and that looks good. Alexa, turn on my exhaust.
Okay.
I'll have to see if it gets louder in here. It's not showing that you can hear it in the background. All right, so I got my fan going, I got my exhaust going. I'm focusing just on this area right here. So again, concentrating here on the bottom. Come on. And because it's been leaving such nice clean circles, I've been letting it just rest for a minute. I'll get my next one queued up. Again, just tickling the top to see if it's solid enough to stay together. And we're nice and tight. Nice clean solder into the tumbler. Next, and now we'll start going more full speed. Okay, that did go all the way around. Turn this back towards me a little bit. And this method has worked pretty well for me over the years. And when I can, I try and get that edge. See if I can make room for my mouse here. Where this bend goes into the bend of the piece of silverware. That's what I'm talking about. So through there, this is way off. That's straight. That's straight. Just fill it right in. You can see it coming around. Be very careful when you're adding extra solder on this the back side, because you'll leave drips or you'll run the solder up the you'll run it up the spoon or the knife. And another thing, whenever you're here and you're soldering this side, be careful that you're not pointing the torch towards yourself or towards your fingers. I've done that way many times. Beautiful. I have to check out for now, but we'll watch the rest later. Take care, and thanks for always being so kind, for sharing your methods and just being you. Thank you, Lou. I appreciate you hanging out with me. Thank you. So this should be done. And so far, just using the Dawn dish soap has done really well for me. Sweet! Is that 2 in a row? Again, I'm just focusing right there in that where the 2 pieces meet. And I just put it in a test run. Go. Now focus on the bottom. Went all the way around. Let the fan take the smoke off of that. The other day I was looking, or I was in here soldering, and I forgot to turn the fan on, and I didn't hear it because my headphones were on. And I left, went in the house for a minute, came back out, and I was like, oh, what's burning? What's on fire? And I just full panic mode, like checking everything, trying to smell everything, and I realized it was because I was soldering and I didn't turn on the fan. Or exhaust. And once you get everything set up, this part goes pretty quickly. Once you get your routine down, this one's just got a nice point. So I haven't done that. I don't know if it would get enough oxygen really once it got past the tip, once it got down into the knife handle a little bit. I've made spoons with a fork tine poking out from the bottom up to just be able to stick your candles on. But I've never filled one with wax and put a wick in one. I guess that's not too much longer than spraying it off. So I will take the nice clean solder joint over spraying them. Always learning. Perfect. I've had some of these not quite cool, and whenever I've taken and opened or went to move them, just totally messed everything up. Because once you pull it apart, it's really hard to get all of the solder back up into that space, especially on the handle part. And I saw just a little tiny wiggle there. I think that went. Yep. And having the bucket to dip into is really nice. Another thing that I did to the base of all of these is I put them butt end into the belt sander and then flipped them over and did the same thing, giving me a little bit more surface space on the bottom. That one looks good. There's that one. Oh. So you don't always catch this. But you can kind of see there's a little dent in there. Yeah, there you go. And the other side is nice, but I didn't catch it. So we're gonna just flip this over. We'll put the dented side towards the handle. I put it in the wrong way. So now we'll do our straight and our straight. All right, that'll work. Hi, Tammy. What solder do you use? I'm using a rosin core solder. It's lead free. I'll show you exactly what I'm using here in a second. I do have a link down in the description for it. So these knife handles that have the bigger base, you want to make sure that you have enough solder going all the way around it. There we go. So this is what I'm using. I can get it closer. Yeah, it's just the Harris electrical solder. I got this at Lowe's. It's lead free, which is important, and the rosin core, that's the part that makes it really nice, because you don't have to use flux, it's already built in. And it makes things go a lot faster because you don't have to do the extra step of fluxing it. That one works. That. Got it first try. Sweet. And whenever you're pushing down to test, sometimes you'll push that handle out of the way. So go in there nice and light. Looks good. I always like to have a full ring of solder around it. It just makes me feel better. You don't need a full ring, but it I feel better about it lasting. Now we're flying. So this one has a flat bottom on it. So this is one where I'm going to use one of these that don't quite hit. Let me see, do I have one farther away? Nope, those are all pretty close to center, so we'll call it this one. So that's straight. That's straight. Kinda looks weird though. We'll go with it. So this one, we're heating up the base. We want to make sure that it's nice and not super hot, but nice and hot, so that we can get all of our solder in place and run all the way around it. Sweet. An easy one. It's always tempting to go back in and get that one little tiny spot, but most of the time when I do, because I shake so much, I'll leave a drip on the spoon, or I'll run it up the knife or something, or it'll stick and it won't come apart. Yeah, I've done all of those. And these are the ones that you always want to really check. Normally, if you tap them on the bucket, they'll come apart. But that's solid. Into the tumbler. Not enough pressure. There we go. The bigger handles are harder to bend, but they make really nice bases. Looks good to me. And as soon as that starts to drop, I take the solder away really quick, because it will just ball up and fall right down on your spoon or fork. That was kind of ugly. The solder just went way out from where I had it. Come on. Alexa, turn on my shop heater.
Okay.
With a fan on and my my exhaust sucking air out, it's starting to get a little cold in here. I got that one on the first try. I'll take it. Just want a little push. And repeat. And once you start to get into a groove, everything just Moves along nice and easy. This is my first time trying to be patient and not spray it. Faster! Nope. And some of the handles just have like a lot more meat to them, so this part gets really hot and it stays hot for a little bit, so you always want to just double check these. I think that's close enough. I like it. And you want to also be careful about getting the spoon too hot, because a lot of times right on the points they will the plate will just disintegrate super fast. Yeah, right on the front part of the spoon. You won't see it until after it's too late. Generally, I'm looking for the spray bottle. I want to go fast. So once these are done, something in there was rusty. Oh, I know what it was. So I've got some rust on a couple. After I take them off the handles, I put them in there so they can cool off. But I've had them sitting in there for a week or two now. That will come off in the tumbler. Oh. That one's got some beads in it. So that means I have solder in there. See if it will be nice to me and just break off. Oh, I think it did. Come on. I better curl up my my apron here. Come on. I know you moved. All right. So let's put this guy. We're gonna heat it up a little bit. I'm gonna try and see if I can see it flatten out. It'll probably flatten out and then everything pour out beads. So I got some out. Hot. I just don't want to have hot stainless steel beads fall all over me. There it went. That was a lot of beads. We'll give those a minute to cool down. Remember, it's still hot. Nice. All right, let's see. My brain still says everything's hot, but it's not. So I thought I got all of the solder out. Still had quite a bit in there. I lost a couple. Lost another one. All of this was in that one knife handle. All right, so this is cool now. All right, and away we go again. It says my stream's bitrate is low. That should not be possible. I just upgraded my internet service. I was only getting 15 megabits per second upload before, and now I'm getting over 200. So I don't know what more they want, what more YouTube needs to be having a good stream. Is lower than the recommended weight. Okay, that's fine. I can handle that. As long as it's not glitching on you guys, I'm happy. I get it. I got it. I like it when that happens. So the prep for this is getting the knife handles separated from the knives, and then getting the knife handles ran through the tumbler. The video is like HD. Nice. I'm happy with that. What was that? Once you tumble the knife handles to where they actually come out clean, shiny, that's whenever I consider them done. Once they come inside from coming off the knife, or from coming off the knives, I have a couple more steps, but it's pretty much, we're just cleaning up the edges. I'll show you after I get this one soldered. The hard part is getting them clean, like inside and outside, where they're not just really nasty. Sweet. So the knives come in two ways. They come in with the little lip on them. Those are normally the ones that have the little peg, and these come in with pinched points, pinched tips, like this guy. He has the pinch right on it. I take these and I run them through the bandsaw to get them straight. Once they come inside, they're all rough and nasty. Like this one's still got some solder left in it. I'll just heat that up, take the solder out. I'll put them into the saw, and into the belt sander and rotate them. And then that gets them nice and clean, flat. And then I just kind of roll the edge, the sharp edge, along, barely any pressure at all, just enough to knock off that hard edge. And then I put them reverse, solder the bottom a little, or not solder, sand the bottom. And once that's done, then I'll stick them in the tumbler and tumble them however many times they need it. That one's too far forward. See, there's a fine line between just right and weird. For me anyways. I think it would be hard now to even try and make these a different way for me. I've made so many. Excuse me 1 second. Sorry about that. Okay. My sister-in-law calling me. Some phone calls you have to take. Come on. I can kind of see it go from shiny to dull. So close. And repeat. There. Oh. It looks right. We'll go with it. So Lou was talking about my beard. So next time, I think I'll go ahead and do my mustache, get it all put up. I'm gonna regret this. I got it. I shake so much that trying to get it right in just one little tiny spot, it doesn't work a lot for me. So if we have enough spoons, well, we do have enough because we counted those. By looking at it, I'd say we're over half done. We're almost half done. So this is another bent one. So we're gonna put the bend side towards the handle and see if we can hide it with something. That didn't do it. I'm a little taller. Here's one. So what's everybody doing today? Anybody else creating? Never mind. Sometimes it takes that extra little second for the heat to pull all of the solder right to it. So those little gaps are nice whenever they get filled in. Sometimes it just takes another half second with the torch. It's taking forever. My ADD showing up. Oh, it kind of fits. I try and fit the handles to the spoon a little bit. And I can't tell you how I keep them straight or how I look at them straight. I don't have any reference or anything behind here. Mostly I'm looking at the top for the level. And I just kind of reference it against the spoon handle. But a lot of times the spoon handles are tweaked. They're not perfect. So I got to be careful with some of them. Come on, you can do it. There we go. Too cold here in the UK for me to go out the back and do any welding, but I have been 3D printing. Nice. I finally got my numbers right on my printer. That could have been bad. I'll just put these over here. So I got my printer printing. Let me get this next one cooling down. I'm printing with castable resin because I'm doing lost wax casting basically, but just with the resin. It took me tons of test prints. Oh, I did make a metal bird out of spoons a couple weeks ago. Nice. I always like those, but I don't have the area to weld. I can weld some. But I don't have a TIG welder or even a MIG welder, wire welder. All right, so that's drying. I'm gonna switch over to here. So this is the ring I've been working on for a while. So I did this ring by hand. I got the dragon on Google, and I found it, or I took it and I printed it out in a couple different sizes. And then I have this set to have a stone. But it's gonna be pretty cool once it's done. I finished a couple that had it, but it wasn't this clean. So finally I got the settings right. I have a tiny bit of cleanup to do on this, but I think this will work. Once this works and everything's dialed in, I'll be able to start on actual production, which will be nice. The hard part was getting that castable resins. It's really worked nice. That one, it went together good. Yeah, I probably did 20 test prints trying to get those right. It was just so frustrating because I could get all of my other prints working and stuff, and normally after 3, maybe 4 test prints, I'm good to go with that resin. But this was hard, even with the manufacturer recommendations. I know it's better just get you kind of close. I've never heard of castable resin. Yeah, it burns up a lot different because of the way that they make the resin. It's made to burn out in a kiln. And making jewelry, it's really nice because it's nice and small. The hard part was, this is my second resin. The next resin I'm going to try is the purple, because this is the Ceratec blue castable, and a lot of people have been having a lot better success with 50-50 of the blue and the purple, the castable purple. But I finally got this one to work. Once they come out and I don't have to do a ton of work to them, because that's the goal, I'll get them made in all the different sizes too, and then I can print out a whole bunch of different sizes and start selling those. The first one that I ever did took me 14 hours to make, which is insane. I did it all by hand, and I rolled out all of the sterling. I melted the dragon 3 or 4 times trying to get it to stick to the whole sterling ring. And that was frustrating. I have all these videos somewhere. They're all on drives. I have so much footage of making things that I haven't posted because I haven't gone through all of it. But I'm glad these finally came together. And in the middle where the stone is going to go, that's a is it 8mm? Yeah, I think it's an 8mm oval. Oop. I guess I'm just going to be in here all day. I should have probably started the kiln up. Oh wow, you need another channel for casting. Oh. It's hard enough to get my videos edited for just this. Oh, I can see some of the Bud Vases in there. I think I've had 45 in there before. Maybe 50. I know I've had 45 in there a few times. We'll see how many we can get in there today. Nice, I got it. Thought I had it. There we go. Yeah, I'm trying to stay focused. I have to give myself like tunnel vision because I can just go all in on something else. And I really love doing this and making videos that are helping people and still being able to be creative. If I had another channel, I'd have to have somebody run it. I'll just send you videos. You can edit them down, make them as goofy or as crazy as possible. Oh, they knocked back down. The thumbnail on this live stream is from I had somebody who was gonna start managing kind of my channel and trying to make things look more symmetrical and professional, starting with the thumbnails. And it ended up not quite working out, but I was like, I don't think I've used this thumbnail before. Let's give it a shot. I've had a couple people edit the videos over the last couple years, and for the most part that has worked out. But it's hard to be able to afford somebody who can spend hours kind of going through all of the footage, because they do mostly live streams, so we're 2, 3, 4 hours sometimes. It's two things that I've never put together: 3D printing and casting from the prints. So I saw it on YouTube because I was gonna start doing lost wax casting, and come on, go. And then I saw somebody do it with silver, and they were actually casting it from 3D resin. So I did some research and found out there is such a thing, but it's not $18-19 a bottle for the resin though. I think the cheapest resin I've used so far is around $80 US. So running all of those prints, I was getting frustrated because the test prints are small, but they're still taking up resin, and not being able to get it don't let me loose on your videos. That'd be funny if I could get them numbered. I just make a playlist of like epically long fail after fail after fail. I mean, you don't really fail as long as you keep trying, but whenever you're learning, and learning hours, you don't get paid for that at all. And sometimes it takes a little bit longer to learn something, or the tediousness of something. When I made my daughter's wedding ring, I think I have a playlist of that. But the things are so tiny. So it was a wrap for her engagement ring. So I had to make a wrap go around it. The biggest stone was a 6mm marquee moissanite diamond, and then there was 2 ovals. So you're gonna double this, so 1 on each side. So 7mm marquee, or 8mm marquee, 6mm ovals, and then 2mm rounds. And that was a lot of learning, because I'd never done anything like that before. So it took me the longest to be able to get the marquee set, because I couldn't get them to match up, and every time Uh, 80 $80 plus US. It's a lot. But if I could run a full print, a full plate of rings, I can probably get 10 to 15 rings on a single plate. Probably 8 to 10. So it's a lot. And then my kiln's been running great. And every time you change resins, you have to change the burnout times. So if you don't get that right, after you've got your 3D print right, then you have to basically reprint and cast all over again. So I was having troubles with that. With there was actually ash that was still in the mold because it didn't burn out as much. So every time I print something out or I'd pour it, it would come out really, really rough. And so it was like, okay, so now I'm wasting resin and I'm wasting the investment plaster stuff, and I'm wasting time and energy with the kiln. It got a little overwhelming for a little bit, but you just keep going and it will eventually work its way out. I've hunted and fished almost my whole life, so I have a little bit of patience. And I taught archery for a while. And dealing with all kinds of people, plus kids, you kind of have to learn patience. Let's see. Come on, pull it around. There we go. I find when I'm making some for someone as a gift, that's when things start to go wrong, just to take the pleasure out of it, right? Is that for 1 kg of resin? Yes. I'll go grab what I have. Okay. So no, this is 500 grams. So Ceratec Professional UV cast resin, 500 grams. True blue. So this was 80 some odd dollars. And this was the test print I finally got to get 90% of everything clean and actually print. And I've got a pretty decent bottom on it too. You can still see kind of that, the dullness. There it is. But yeah, it's a lot. for that. So I haven't made silicone molds yet. I am going to though. I'm going to, for sure. All right, we're getting close. It's a whole nother learning curve. And then trying to learn 3D modeling when about 60% of it is remembering shortcut keys. Yeah, and my memory, it doesn't work. My short-term memory is fried. Long-term is good sometimes, but normally my brain just doesn't like me. So my vise, I got her to swing really easy like that. I took it all apart, I sanded everything down, and then I put some marine grease in there because I spray everything. So I just put some marine grease in there and she slides like a dream. Come on. I was thinking of going to the silicone molds and just do the wax printing because it's so much easier. Yeah. Let me see. I can get the exact price for you. Oh. So I bought that recently. That's not the end of my orders. Siratech. Not Siri. True Blue Caspal Resin. Is that the one? So this is, how much is that? So this is 500 grams for 36. That's nice. I'm gonna add that to my cart. And that was the blue. Yeah, the last time I looked at castable resins, they were crazy expensive. $40, I can handle that. I ran out of knives. The one I tried before that was translucent, which I won't do that again. I won't do any clear resins again. It's so hard to see any problems that's in them. We're almost there, guys. We just keep plugging away. That transparent one, that was, I know that was $80. Why did it only go back that far? I got it on Amazon. I'll have to do a video on my 3D printer enclosure I made. Siri controls that too. Not Siri. Alexa controls that too. No. Alexa, cancel. Alexa, cancel. Yeah, so it's fully enclosed. I have a reptile heating mat in there, and I have that hooked up to a temperature controller so that I can keep it the same temperature. Some silicone can take high temperature. I poured hot lead into one and the mold was fine. That's nice. The sterling, when it's, well, I'd be using the silicone for wax. Sterling, the casting temp for it is around 1,000 degrees Fahrenheit. If it's from Amazon, don't leave it in your cart too long or the price will go up. That's good to know. Yeah. I'll put it on a list then. There we go. Come on. Yeah, I normally have stuff in my cart. I'll put it in my cart, I'll do some research, forget about it, and then eventually come back, oh, that's in my cart. Or I'll do some, or I'll order something and forget that I ordered it. There it goes. Okay, now it's cold. Alexa, turn on my shop heater.
Okay.
Like, it's starting to get cold again. More rust. Oh, that's better. I've just got this little Wi-Fi heater. I have the red one, or not red one, the one little infrared fireplace heater thingy. I ran that almost all last year. And then it wasn't quite enough to reach all the way up here. And I didn't want to move it right here next to me because it's big. And So I got this little one and it oscillates. And I can keep it right here because it's nice and small. Nope, not ready yet. So I have put lights in the 3D box. I have a plexiglass window so I can see in. I have it set up so that I can put a little camera in there that I can hook up to my phone so I can be in the house and see how the print is going and like catch it before it tries to print the whole thing. So I have the heater, I have the electronics, the lights, and I just have a Mars 2 Pro. I got it and the clean / cure station. And they've both been doing pretty good for what they are. Come on. Touch. There we go. I don't want a lot of heat on that one. Yeah, I'll have to make a quick video of that and post it as a short or something. I have one more thing to make in here. Another squirrel moment kind of thing. I get a lot of silverware that I can't turn in to jewelry or other things because the plate is just gone or the piece is just not good for anything. So I'm going to start refining my own silver from the sterling silver. So my next project, I'm building a hooded box that so I can use chemicals and things and have the exhaust take everything, all the bad smells, not bad smells, toxic smells away. And it plugs right into my existing so while I'm doing that, I can't be doing any soldering, but I do lots of things that aren't soldered. So yesterday, I was at a new customer's and I showed her my forktopus and I realized I haven't made a forktopus in a really, really long time. So I think it's getting close to where I'm gonna have to make a couple. I think once I started focusing more on the wholesale side, those take a lot of work. They take at least an hour. That's the fastest I've ever gotten it, is an hour. And in good enough shape where I was happy with it. they're a lot of fun to do because you get to tweak the tentacles. I made a sterling silver one, and I set black diamonds in the tentacles to use them as little suckers. That was a fun one, and scary because it's sterling and black diamonds. The nice part is the diamonds give you some flexibility. You're not going to hurt them as easy. All right, let's see where we're at. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 17. We have 17 to go. Almost done, and we're only 2 hours, 43 minutes. I'm kind of happy with that. I don't know how many more I can fit in my in my tumbler right now. It's starting to look at me with that really face. Really? Yeah, right. And now we wait. Ugh. That might be weight. That might be close to the actual weight that the machine can handle. So it will go up to 30 pounds. I mean, I can still lift it, so it's not 30 pounds. Still got a little bit of room left in there. Most of the tumbling from this point is to clean up any residue from heating and kind of smooth out any more edges that are on here. So I can have a bunch packed in there and still get accomplished what I need accomplished. It's like the 100 spoons that I tumbled last night. There's only a couple of them that were really bad. So I didn't feel bad. I knew I wasn't going to use 100 today. So I didn't feel bad if they didn't come out bright and shiny. But everything came out really bright this morning. I'm definitely happy with it. Come on, touch. There we go. I think the extra couple of seconds are definitely worth taking the time to just let it set. I'm watching solder dry. I think I didn't get all the solder out of this one. There it went. Here's how I take care of that. Just gonna heat it up. And I'm just watching for the bottom because all the solder should plop right down on the bottom and try coming out. Or it shoots out the bot. What? Alright, that's not okay. Okay, so this is a first for me. The end of the handle blew out. Got my glasses here. It was like it was dotted in for something, but I'm still full of solder. But instead of the solder melting out, the top blew out. Huh. Hmm. All right, let's see if we can get that out of there. That was a lot of water in there. So now I'm looking for it to come out the bottom. If I can do this without melting the plate, we might be able to save it. There it went. Oh, sorry. So it just squished out the bottom. Ouch! Hot. Just dip it in the bucket, Jeremy. Alright, so now I've got that in the bottom. We will just remove this. So the plating still looks good, but I still have solder up here. I refuse to give up. Just need to make sure I'm not gonna kill the plating on this. We can get another drop. All right, so that's clean in there now. All right. Plating still looks decent. That all cleaned off. Now to fix this. I broke it. I broke it again. I wonder if I broke it. I mean, I have had this for quite a few years. Well, we'll fix it. Super glue. Oh, it cracked. That's what happened. I'm gonna put this one right there. Do I have any in here? So a neat trick that you can use is if you put baking soda in there, the baking soda actually hardens really quick and it will turn into a solid. We'll make the other ones move instead. All right, let's get back on track here. So it still doesn't have a ton of downward pressure, but it has pressure. I'll be able to roll with the punches, right? That one did not take. Maybe. We'll see here in a second if it took or not. Yeah, it went. This is why you always make extras. Sometimes you get ugly ones. It's kind of got a big old ball of solder on there. I'll find some wire later. Some just twisted wire, not like a solid wire, but just twisted, and I can heat that up and you can actually wick away the solder. There we go. Now I got downward pressure again. We're almost done. We can't quit now. I can't quit anyways because I need to get the order out. Even if I can't fit them all in the tumbler, I gotta get all of these done. And no breaks. I procrastinated enough. All right. And I don't have any of that wire close, otherwise I would show you guys how I do it. I think the temperature's dropping outside or something because it's getting cold in here. But that exhaust fan is a beast. So it sucks out a lot of air really quick. Yep. Getting tired now. That one acted like it went all the way around, but it didn't. That one did. I'm half tempted to turn off the fan. My heater kicked off again. I think I could probably only get maybe 3 or 4 more in the tumbler. Safely. It makes a difference. Two, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11. And I can always take these out and split them up into like half. So my order's for 50. I have 53 set. Had 53 set. So I lost one so far. But I always make extra. I was just thinking about your comment about having stuff in your cart. I know on eBay, if you leave stuff in your cart, the price will get dropped. At least for some of the stuff I wanted anyways. Alright, I gotta reach way over for spoons, so that's good. I try and put a bend in the wire so I can reach around and put it where I want it. And I can brace on either the brick or the vise. Gives me a little finger hold that I can use to make my motions not have so much shakiness to them. We are officially coming out of the tumbler. Nice, that one lined up good. The nice part is, after I'm done with this, I'm gonna get something to eat, take a little break, and I'll try and be on tonight. Is it tonight yet? No, still afternoon. I'll try and do that unbagging tonight. I have a new workstation that I made. It's nice and bright, and I should have enough room at least to open up a bag at a time. I still have a couple of things to do around here. Like I want to put more shelving space right here. And now I know where everything's pretty much at where I want it. I can start to add those kind of things in, the shelves and the yes, that's true, but Amazon it goes up. Yeah, I'll remember to just put stuff in lists from now on. I'll have to get this shop cleaned up. Do a tour through the shop again. I have some little elephant earrings and a really tiny, tiny bracelet. I have to make for a friend. Come on. We're almost there, 6 left. There we go. I'm excited. It's always nice the end of an order. Takes a lot of pressure off. But now I need to take off a whole bunch more knife handles because I am officially out of prepped handles. Yep, once these 6 are gone, I have nothing available. I have lots of them that I can take apart, I just don't have any ready. Sweet. Yeah. So I didn't burn myself today. I only had one fail to solder. There we go. I haven't messed one of those up yet. I still have 5 more to go, so we'll see. So I have 4 4 spoons and 5 knife handles. I wonder if I mathed wrong. I got plenty of spoons to make another one. That resin you show me is $75 in the UK, but I did see another type at $34. Yeah, I might have been looking at the wrong one, but I know that they're a lot more expensive than just the regular resins. So I bought a couple of resins when I was just starting to play around. $15 to $25 for the big bottles. This one's a full base, so I definitely want to make sure I got enough solder wrapping around. Yeah. I still have over half, but it feels like you're using a lot more doing that many prints. And it's not like I'm a professional caster, jeweler kind of thing. Like, I'm just learning, so as much money as I can save without compromising quality. Or making more work for myself. Right, so that one dries. I'm gonna go ahead and flatten and bend this one. So there's officially no more room left in the tumbler barrel. I will leave you a link, one at 67 for 1 kilogram. Maybe you can find it over there. That'd be nice. You have my Facebook, right? On Messenger? We'll finish this one. Yeah. Just a little twist, little bend. Two left. I also like using monograms for these. A lot of times they're upside down, but a lot of people connect with them if they have their initial on it. And most of the special order custom stuff that I do for family heirloom jewelry, almost all of that always has 2 to 3 initials on it. All right, we're on to the last one, everybody. Here it is. Come on, heat up. There we go. Boom. So I'm on Flatware Creations with 2 S's on Facebook. Also Jeremy ELSaid. Let's see. Yeah, I'll see if I can I find the link for it? Person, how do I share? Share profile. Copy link. I'll see if I can add it onto this video. Maybe I can Yeah, that didn't help me. I'll see if I can post it in the chat, or I'll post it in the description as soon as I stop the live stream, because I can't do it on my phone until it's over. So that stays there. This guy he'll stay there. It's full. And we've got 4 others. We were doing 53. We lost 1. So 52 Bud Vases today put together. I only have 4 out. So there's 40 something in here. But I'm going to take a bunch of these out, and I'll just run a second round through them. Let's see, 3 hours and 24 minutes, so 3.5 hours. Just check in. I don't see anything yet, but like I said, I will post the information for my messenger. You can do Flatware Creations with 2 S's or Jeremy ELSaid. I'll post the one for Jeremy ELSaid because that one's so much easier to contact me than the Facebook one is. But I'm gonna hop off here, give my legs a break, and I'll see you guys all next time. The next time I do a live stream, it will be for the unbagging, because I can't stand it anymore. I gotta at least open a couple bags. So I hope you guys all had a great day. If you haven't yet and you like this kind of content, please subscribe. I will eventually be having some shorter videos. Has it got a photo of a ring on the main page? Nope, I have an octopus. Well, that's me. Let me try Flatware Creations. Yeah, and Flatware Creations has my logo with 2 S's, but like I said, the other way is the easier way to get a hold of me. There you go, I got some of the glare off of it. Yep. So it's got my diamond forktopus and this year's salmon fishing picture. Just checking to see if you got it. Wow, that's really far back. So I'm watching live, and then I'm watching it on YouTube once it finally gets over there. So there's a little bit of a lapse, but I'm gonna put this right here. So I will see you guys later. Yep, you can pause the video and it gives you both of my sites. Like I said, Jeremy ELSaid is the one that I'm gonna get the fastest without having to jump through all the apps and everything. But if anybody needs any help, let me know. I'm always happy to help. So one more way to reach me, and I will see you guys next time, hopefully later tonight. All right.